Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along today, so thank you very much for joining me. Okay, what do I want to have a look at? Well, first of all, let's get the easy one out of the way. My guides, when I read on it the other week, said that Blanche would be confirmed, and then news came out last week that no, he hadn't been. And I went, oh, okay, that doesn't, oh, well, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I get it wrong. But then what's come out this morning is that news that. This morning, yes, this morning, the news that in negotiations with Republican senators who support he needs to be confirmed as AG, Blanche rescinded a $1.776 billion fund meant to compensate the felons' political allies, but gives a sweeping audit immunity to the felon and his criminalising offspring and the Trump org. Now, remember, Trump org is also at the moment embroiled in that, I mentioned it yesterday, embroiled in with that, what is it, the Five of Pentacles, the court case with Capital One, the Capital One Bank in regards to laundering. So pretty much what's happened is Blanche has said, oh, well, we'll drop that 1.6776 and the amount is important because it's a date. It's a gaslighting dog whistle to his supporters. I know the media rounds it up to 1.8, but I'll continue saying the date itself because that's what it's meant to be. But pretty much what Blanche has said is like, he got on the phone and went, oh, well, if you vote for me to be confirmed, I'll drop the $10 billion lawsuit, I'll drop the 1.776 billion fund, but the felon and his criminal offspring still get retrospective retroactivity immunity. So basically anything in the past in regards to auditing, the IRS, tax filing and lawsuits. So I'm just going to have a quick look in regards to that. I mean, scream criminal. You wouldn't need immunity unless you were criming, let me put it that way. However, Biden gave Dr. Fauci a wide sweeping pardon because he knew that what would be coming in this next regime and that they would absolutely attack Dr. Fauci. I'm going to do a different reading on the manufactured outrage that is happening at the moment, coming all over social media, which does mean that we are coming to a climax. But let's have a look. The Blanche confirmation I got the other week that he would get through after some phone calls made by those within the regime, but it would be disastrous for his future career. So let's have a look. Get the easy ones out of the way. I'll do Blanche and then I'll do Mitch because today is the Mitch deadline day. Let's have a look. So Blanche confirmation. Oh, two cards popping out there. Oh, why am I not surprised? Okay, let's have a look. Blanche confirmation. Those with ties to the devil, who is demanding that they dance the tune. Challenged by, okay, thank you. I love it when my guides prompt me to use a particular spread. Challenged by voluntarily putting the blindfold onto the illegality of it, making a legally blind decision. Yep. So pretty much, I think he's going to get through. And there are possibly two senators. I don't know how many he needed to flip, but if it's two, it swaps 2 to 2, which means a gap of 4. Yeah, who have been phone called or called into the office, and will the challenge being is that they will choose to be voluntarily blind to the illegality of it all. Okay. There's going to be an announcement that comes out, the Page of Wands, some sort of announcement that comes out in regards to his confirmation. It's almost like it'll fly under the radar type information. It's going to be almost like a footnote, oh, he got through type thing. So we've got, because it's the Page of Wands. In the past, we've got the Judgment card. Yeah, a huge collective awakening. I mean, it's just even more wake-up calls for people. So I just have a sip of coffee. I've heard it takes a couple of weeks to get rid of the drag ends of this cold that's been going around. The Judgment card. Judgment was cast. Judgment has been made. I believe there have been several submissions to both Florida and New York to have Blanche stripped of his law license. Oh, speaking of under the radar, I believe what's his name? Clayton, got confirmed as DNI, in case you missed that one. So again, flying under the radar. But yeah, this judgment in the past, a huge wake-up call as to how corrupt our legislators are and how corrupt the DOJ is. Okay, crowning the reading, the Four of Wands, the announcement from the White House. I believe he's swearing in Jay Clayton today, looking at his schedule. Plus a few executive orders. You know how he does. It's like, just the executive order thing drives me nuts. But we've got the Four of Wands here. This is, in my traditional Rider-Waite deck, it is an announcement coming from the White House, but finding oneself entrapped or one's whole family entrapped by this announcement. So Blanche might come to regret, because there is an ending coming, a significant ending, very possibly a DEATH, a death coming, that will bring about just sweeping clear out. Okay. Just on that point, I just wanted to mention, I think I mentioned it yesterday, that one of my lovely viewers who is in the medical profession let me know that when somebody is decaying on the inside, and with toxicity is putrefying within, it comes out through the pores. My feels is that the smell of the orange idiot is not just him leaking from a certain orifice, because at the funeral he was sweating profusely, when nobody else was sweating. And the guy behind him was like, because you can imagine, well, you can't really, but the putrefaction smell that is coming out through his skin. So I just wanted to point that out as well. He's not far off. Remembering also, end of the month seems to be, but I think it's now once every fortnight instead of monthly, which means everything's ramping up, is when he gets the whatever he gets. And on the weekend he was at Camp David. So where they have a very complete medical facility there. So the immediate future is a death, a passing. Oh gosh. And then we've got the tower. Absolutely, the implosion in the tower. So I'm asking about Blanche's confirmation. It looks like it's going to get through, but boy, oh boy, going forward, he's going to have hitched his wagon to the wrong side of history. Okay, internally we've got the mercenary prepared to work for, whoever pays them. He did, during his confirmation, say that he worked for the president. Well, I hate to tell him, but the Attorney General works for the people of the US, not the president, but that's not how he sees it. But yeah, he sold his soul, and it's going to backfire on him bigly. Okay, hopes and fears, the Six of Swords, trying to move on legally, trying to get out of Dodge, he's got his swords pointed down here, so he's not, he hasn't got any legal defense, and watch for him leaving the country, trying to get out. Okay, hopes, the outcome, the Strength card on the back foot, defending himself, and then the Page of Swords. So tied himself to the orange idiot. I often see him as the Leo because I believe is it in Western astrology, his ascending and his moon, which are two aspects more powerful than your actual sun, are both in Leo. His sun is in Gemini, but I believe his ascendant and his moon are in Leo. And the reason why in Western astrology we got used to talking about our sun signs is because there's 12 of them. There's 12 moon signs as well, but they're not broken up into, there's 12 of those per moon cycle. So there are 12 moon signs in every month, and it was not possible to publish that in the newspapers. So therefore, that's why the media of the day, going back 100 years or whatever, would publish the sun signs because there was only 12, whereas the moon signs are, 144 or something, if I remember my maths from my childhood correctly. Okay, so tied himself to the orange idiot, thought that he had it all under control, ending up 7 of Wands on the back foot trying to defend himself. And then you've got the Page of Swords. And then you've got the Knight of Swords. So there might be some legal action or declaration brought in regards to him. The Knight of Swords, a harsh truth being brought forward, a proclamation, and the Hierophant. Now, I'm not feeling that Hierophant is the government. I'm feeling this is the government. I'm feeling this is probably the Bar Association. And there's karma coming and biting him on the backside. So I think, yeah, paid to play, 6 of Pentacles, paid to play pretty much to tip the balance of justice. Okay, you've got here these particular legislators. So the energy, underlying energy, the King of Wands, which is the legislators, the Senate. You've got the Three of Swords, betrayal, heartbreak, loss. There might be 3 senators. I said 2, but there might be 3 that order his confirmation. But then you've got the Queen of Swords. Those 3 particular legislators might find themselves, no, okay, thank you. I was going to say on the end of a legal investigation, but I'm getting this is about internal strategy to move things forward with the Chariot. This can also be my military card, but I think this is to move things forward that are ground to a halt. So yeah, I think there's going to be two or 3, or we may just feel betrayed by the 2 certain senators. It is an internal strategy that they're bringing forward with that Queen of Swords to move this confirmation forward. Just ridiculous, isn't it? He's so incompetent. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here, Homeland Security perhaps, or those that, again, internally may have gotten a financial kickback. There might be volatile information come out about said financial kickback that will be fully exposed. 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords, and then the Emperor. So this could be something getting revealed here, volatile information getting revealed that may take Blanche back out again, or it could be with the passing of the orange idiot, Blanche, who thought he had it all in his power, his control, finds himself legally restricted. So yeah, I'm going to say The guides were right the other week. I think, yes, he is going to get confirmed. Worst mistake of his legal career that he will ever make. Stupid goose. Okay, let's have a look at no different cards. Thank you. That was the Gilded Tarot Royale, and I'm going to use the Tarot Grand Luxe and have a look at Mitch. So what's happened is that, well, we know what's happened with Mitch. Guides have been yapping about it for what, nearly 3 months, 2 months now, however long it's been, 6 weeks, whatever. Today is the day, apparently. The cut-off point. So I gather back in the day, let me get this right. Back in the day, the Kentucky Constitution said that the governor, if a sitting representative fell by the wayside, the governor could appoint a replacement. Okay, that was good. However, what happened is Andy Beshear got in, a Democratic governor. Oh no, we couldn't possibly have a Democratic governor and name a replacement. It only was if we had a Republican governor. You know how it is. Because he'll name it, getting all their knickers in a knot. The legislative in the state. So I gather the GOP legislative in the state ruled that it had to be like with like. Then what happened is it went to a ballot, and the people said, no, it has to go to a special ballot. But there was a cut-off date of the however many months out from an election. So the latest from what I understand, is that if it was less than so many months from a actual election for that position, then there wouldn't be a replacement put in. However, the GOP are arguing that it has to now be replacement like with like. And I gather Andy Beshear has come out and said, well, the legislative voted for this, the populace voted for this, but the state constitution, which is the underlying document, we know how the GOP love to abide by the constitution, not. The underlying constitution actually was never changed. It gives, from what I understand, now I may be completely wrong because I haven't really looked into it, because I just want to have a look to see what's going to happen. From what I understand, so we've got some, as I split the deck, I think these are the constitutional experts having a good hard look at the Constitution with the 8 of coins. Because I think it's a grey area at the moment. And if any makes any sort of declaration about any of it, it'll get tied up in the courts. We can just put it that way. So let me have a look. Is there going to be... Now, they won't announce anything today. I mean, that's a bit obvious. However, they might. 10 of Swords and Tower card. Somebody legally is down for the count, and it's going to lead to this absolute implosion or massive destruction moment. Tower and 10 of Swords. They may announce today. Okay, when are they? Tell me. The announcement of Mitch. Is there going to be? It's going to be an oops, he had a relapse, blah, da, 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 da type thing. However, if anyone's doing an autopsy on the body and the autopsy gets released, that would be interesting to see how far the decay has advanced, because weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago, I was getting that around the feeding tube, the esophagus was already not the feeding tube, the breathing tube, the esophagus was already starting to decay. Ick. Okay. Is Mitch going to have a relapse? Let's have a look. Is Mitch going to have a relapse? Gosh, two major arcana have thrown themselves out, and it's a yes and a yes. Actions having consequences and uncharted waters. The Fool, new journey. The Justice card and the Fool card. What else is poking itself out at me? The Ace of Cups, some sort of cleansing, some sort of ending with new beginning. And then I've got the King of Wands, which I suspect is probably Bashir. We've got the Strength card. Okay, I'm going to bring you down, and I'll just move that there so you can see me pulling them off. So we've got these two, Justice and the Fool, a double yes. This is about justice being brought. This is about action, as in brought forward, actions having consequences, the truth versus the sort of truth and the letter of the law here. And the Fool, uncharted waters. We've got the Ace of Cups, some sort of cleansing, new beginning, bringing of something new. The King of Wands, as I said, I think this might be Bashir, and the Strength card. So I think he actually does have, and this is action being taken, I think he legally does have the Constitution on his side. However, we've got the Nine of Swords, the nightmare situation, the Eight of Swords being restricted, legally restricted. So this could be a legal nightmare because of the legislation that was passed, the ballot that went through, but then the Constitution. So there's three levels of ruling on this, none of which, well, the Constitution is the one that's firm, but the other two challenge it. So I think it's going to get legally tied up. You've got then the Knight of Wands here, bringing forward volatile information, and you've got the Hermit card. So this could be volatile information about Mitch's isolation and a light being shone on it. Okay, I'm just going to, oh, there's the Hierophant, some sort of announcement, a steal, an attempted steal here. This is not Bashir. I think this is on the federal level. Some sort of announcement coming out of the White House to bring about a potential steal. Sorry about the coughing. Had a bit of a rough night last night. Regards to memories of Spotty Dog. So I do apologise if I'm a bit ragged today. Okay, so I think it's going to be obviously legally challenged, but is it going to come out? What happens if information comes out that Mitch passed prior to getting Blanche's involved in this one as well on the federal level? This is why they're so desperate to get Blanche in there, so that he can do Blanche work on this. Except that Blanche's work is all falling to shreds, just like the reflecting pool with Janine Pirro knocking that back, tossing it out of her courtroom. He's got D- lawyers working for him at the moment. Go heading through the pearly gates. Strength card there as well. I want to ask, is it going to come out that Mitch had been artificially kept warm? Hierophant, two yeses. Queen of Swords and the Death card. I think that's a yes. Yeah, the higher authorities. Now, this may, in this particular instance, be the the autopsy, the ME's office or something, who will be shining a light on Mitch's isolation. Queen of Swords coming forward about his death, about his actual death. Oh, I actually feel really creeped out. There's that pearly gates again, passing through the pearly gates, the Sun card, full revelation, and the Two of Swords, seeing through the attempt to cover the eyes, blindfold people. I think it's going to come out, absolutely. There's that Knight of Wands, volatile information. The Two of Coins about the juggling of his alive ability, walking the tightrope. And then the Eight of Cups, walking away from the past with the Six of Cups, walking away, abandoning the past. The Six Cups standing here, is there? 1, 2, 3. No, that's there'll be 3 are down. So there's 5 cups still standing here. 5 of Cups is about loss and regret, and 3 spilt. I think this is naivety here, that they could get away with it. However, that does open up a huge can of worms, because what happens then is opens up the debate. If he was kept artificially, blood pumping around his body and his chest going up and down, the definition of alive versus not alive. Because remember, not that long ago, can't remember what state it was in, where they had the case of the woman that was in the car accident, and she was, barely pregnant, but they kept her body alive for the whole period until the baby could be born, could be viable. And then they hit the girl's parents with a lot of information coming quickly about shining a light on Mitch's isolation. And then they hit the parents of the girl, even though they had no legal right to say no, she wouldn't want this. They hit her with the hospital bill and gave them the child, who apparently has medical issues. So will be a debate about that. Is there going to be a debate? Oh, there's that Eight of Cups again, the regret and walking away. Is there going to be a debate, or walking towards the light? Go towards the light, Mitch. Is there going to be debate? Yeah, uncharted waters. Absolutely. So his passing, so his leaving the body, I think his spirit's pretty much already gone. I keep getting it, to me, it's actually, is it still in the car door? For a long time there, it looked like his spirit was like out of the car, but his coat was caught in the car door and he was trying to wrench it free. So he couldn't quite leave the body. The spirit couldn't quite get away from the body. It was still being trapped there involuntarily against its will. But I want to ask about the actual debate about when is somebody considered past. So here we've got, regret, loss, disappointment, heartbreak, 5 cards, 5 still standing. The 5 of Cups is very much about loss and regret, 3 spilt, and walking away towards the light. So I'm just going to say this is Mitch's spirit, his soul, getting its coat uncaught out of the car door, which will throw the Fool card, New Beginnings, but this is my Uncharted Waters card. The challenge is going to be that this has not been, this is something that's not been had to be dealt with before. There's the Sun card again. You guys saw me shuffle and split and shuffle and split. The Sun card, full exposure of what happened in the past, on the back foot trying to defend the position. This is possibly his office. Oh, he was, trying to take the moral high ground. Yes, he was still alive and defending their position. Yes, he's still alive. But it's going to turn into a legal quagmire nightmare situation with that Nine of Swords over it. Because there's no precedence. Okay, you've got the Queen of Cups in the immediate future. Something not yet revealed or something about to be revealed in the immediate future in regards to all of this. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. A new beginning, an ending, or this can simply be a cleansing. Water. I'm really getting a draw to the water, the fluid. I'm just getting, okay, something is going to be revealed here, potentially about the blood flow. And I'm seeing an artificial heart-lung machine, like a heart machine, where they pump the blood out of the body, put it through a machine and put it back in again. That's what I'm seeing when I see this. And the constitutional lawyers are going to be very busy looking at the books here with the Eight of Coins. Hopes and fears, the Strength card, the Chariot, the chaos and trying to move things forward here. The Lovers, some sort of contract and agreement with the White House itself. There's the Four of Wands. Six of Swords. The chaos, trying to move it forward. Some sort of contract that was made with the White House to, I think, to legally protect the staff is what I'm getting there. The Six of Swords, and there, yeah, the handshake deal with the Two of Cups, and then you've got the King of Pentacles and the High Priestess, the hidden agenda. King of Pentacles, hidden agenda. As the light is shone on Mitch's isolation. I'm not sure what agreement's been made here with the White House to move things on, to protect. There was a solid agreement here and there's a handshake agreement here. King of Pentacles. I mean, it's my Fleon card, but it can also be financial action being taken, hidden agenda, revelation, which will change everything with the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, goodness me. You've got Justice, Page of Swords, King of Swords, Page of Cups, the Pearly Gates, and the Moon. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of legal mess about a declaration of when the official of when one is deceased. There is some sort of agreement behind the scenes from within the DOJ, Blanche, to protect, to fight on one side of it. I don't know that Sashir is going to be able to nominate, because I think it's just going to end up in a legal quagmire, because of the three different factors, the constitution, the legislative, and then the voters, the ballot. And then there'll be the legal arguments of, when is dead, if he's still warm and and theoretically breathing, albeit by a machine, etc. Oh, what a mess. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'll just quickly ask using pendulum. Beautiful lapis lazuli sent to me by one of my gorgeous viewers. Can I ask a question? Will Mitch's position, seat, representative position, be replaced? Will he be replaced? Will there be somebody put in as a Kentucky senator prior to the ballot thing in November? Will there be side to side as a no, back and forth towards me as a yes? Will there be a replacement Kentucky senator sworn in prior to the polling thing? No, it's not going to look. That's a no. That's side to side. That's a no. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just going to get bogged down. Okay, well, this is yet another thing that has been highlighted. That was a gentleman's agreement in the past, but was not actually legally legislated. That staff had to let the governor or the constituents know that their representative is in a situation. Let me just put it that way. It was understood that this is what you did if he snuffed it or medically couldn't represent any longer, that the staff would let them know and a replacement, blah, blah, blah. But as we have found out, no, it's not. Not in Kentucky anyhow. Okay, going to leave it there. Love to you all. Take care.